People try to even compare all your precious metals, which there are. The big five are your gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and radium. Figure out how you want to diversify in that. Some invest. It's really just personal, your opinion. You can talk to your own financial advisor to see where they kind of want to feel like you are at.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to YBI, where we discuss opinions and strategies on how to better your financial selves. It is Zion and Roman here to talk to you guys today about precious metals. Precious metals. Roman has been fiending to discuss this topic for some time now, and we're
Yeah.
gonna we gonna go ahead and ditch that scratch. So let's go ahead, hop right into it, my boy. How we doing today?
Good. I am like I said, I've been bugging you for a while. I am a precious metals advocate. Not to say that you're going to get necessarily rich off of it, but I think everyone's portfolio should have a portion of it in some way. So let's get right into it, I guess.
Yeah. First things first, I don't think that it's about getting rich off of any one of these tactics, but using all of them to create wealth. Holding for long term things, as Roman was saying, just, when it comes to buying stocks, it's not, hey, I'm going to get rich tomorrow by flipping a stock, but diversify your portfolio, having, precious metals in your home and stuff for your personal security, because that's always going to be worth something. So, none of these things are probably gonna get you rich tomorrow, but
No.
over time you're gonna see some growth, and that's what we're into on this here channel.
Long
So
term wealth, generational wealth. Uh,
let's hop into it. What we got?
Well, actually, I'm gonna bring this up too before we go right into precious metals. So someone did ask me why the podcast was named Young Broken Investing, and we haven't said it since this new year why it was named that. Young Broken Investing kind of came from its title of us being young kids, feel like we're broke but still invest in money. In addition to that, it also pretty much was about the broke versus poor kind of episode, and not necessarily being temporarily not having money doesn't mean you don't necessarily actually have money or you won't have it in the future. As well as I tell people all the time, I'm too broke to go out. I'm too broke to do this. When I'm not, I got the money. I just rather spend it on investing or saving my money so that way I can retire earlier or I can buy these things earlier in time and be more set in my future self. So that's kind of how it came about. Is just having to get out of mentality just when you're young or not have a six-figure job and all these other things, saying that you can't actually invest or save even while you're broke.
Yes, sir.
That was kind of a
Okay.
long-winded one, but
That is
understandable.
why that is the inception of the show, the title, and all that stuff. Exactly what Roman said. You can still be younger. You can not have all that you want, but you can still invest. And I think that that's the premise of the show, and that's what allows us to continue to do what we do, because we're not where we want to be, but we do realize that we are going somewhere. So if you see the same thing with your financial situation where you may not be where you want to be, but you're still going somewhere, it's progress. And that's what we're looking for. So, um,
Progress.
precious metals.
Precious metals.
What,
All right,
yeah, let's do stuff.
let's do stuff in that world. All right, so most people, you usually look at investing in precious metals through ETFs, mining stocks, or actual coinage, or actual metals in bars or bullions, whatever. Um, so it's basically trying to figure out one which realm you kind of want to get into it. Most people that are in the space will probably say coinage. As myself right now, I am in looking at buying some gold, but I'm waiting for the price to go where I want it to. But I have bought silver. We're gonna go over that and how I end up picking the ones I did, or actually that might be another episode. That's gonna be a whole other topic.
Yeah, it's a
But
lot.
it's a lot. We're gonna try to cover a lot here, kind of quickly. So if anyone has any more questions and wants a more in-depth video on some of these things, we probably will. Or also just leave a comment down below. Also, of course, this took some research on both of our sides. So if you appreciate all this, give us a thumbs up and a like and a share. Um, ETFs, mining stocks, and actual coinage. Which one do you pick? I say actual coinage, but it's all up to you and how you want to get into the space. Some people might be more comfortable with just throwing a mining ETF or a gold ETF right into their portfolio they already have without actually trying to go out and find actual gold and silver. But I think it'd be a little bit more structured and long-term holding to have it that way. First thing you want to do is find a reputable dealer. Um, for your gold. If you're or your gold and silver, if you're going to be going into coinage in general, there are some local dealers that you can just Google and go talk to them and see where they're at with everything and get more familiar with them. Or you can go online. There's a lot of online bullion dealers that you can find everywhere. Two of the most popular ones are JM Bullion and AppMex.com. That's the one I've actually used before. I think it's AppMex, like American Precious Metals Exchange, but they're great. I have used them for all the silver I've bought so far, and they also have an option to sell back to them, which is another reason I kind of like them. Not sponsored by them by anything. It's just the one I'm most common with. They look good. The good kind of
Right
benefit.
in the hang on one second. And
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to interject that when you're looking for precious metals, to steer clear of places like pawn shops that aren't
Yes.
going to come with certifications and things like that. Just because it says we buy gold and silver on a little window sticker doesn't necessarily mean that they are qualified to do so or have all of the information that they may need or have certifications or any of those things. So just because it says gold and silver on the building does not mean that that's the place that you want to purchase, especially coinage. A lot of those places aren't going to have gold bullion or things like that, but they'll have coins. They'll have those type of things because other people have come through and just tried to get rid of stuff. But that doesn't mean that one, you're going to get the best deal. Two, it's going to be legitimate. You'll be able to sell it back. All of those things. So just unless you really, really know what you're doing, you know what you're looking for. You have that little eyeglass thing, so you can really look at the coin. Kind of be weary of pawn shops. But
Yep, and eBay.
moving on.
eBay as well. Like
Yes.
if someone just posts something on there, you can't really verify it or they don't really have a reputation or something like that. Be very wary of that. Do not also just buy sometimes you see bulk deals for precious metals of just like a bulk price of scrap metal. Don't buy it. You have no idea
Mhm.
what's inside of it, and you might like it's that chance of the lottery where you might end up getting like some pure gold or silver or platinum or rhodium or palladium, which we're gonna go over that in there, but it's very low, and you might as well just go direct to just buy the actual thing from someone you actually trust and has a reputation of doing it. Then you might just waste your money. So be wary of that.
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right, sorry, I was
What's
long winded.
next?
So first thing we're gonna go over is gonna be how to figure out the prices of your gold and silver and platinum and things like that. So just like a stock exchange or for a stock or any type of market price or something that it'll go on a exchange you can track. It'll be like your actual spot price for your precious metal that day. It could be anything for the day, just depends on what the market cap for it is. So as once you see what your spot price is, after that it's going to be something a premium depending on how you end up buying your precious metals, whether it's a coin, a bar, a brick, and how much bulk you buy, there's a premium on top of that price. That premium ends up going towards the miners, the striking, or the whole process of producing that precious metal. On so for both pieces, for your bars and bricks and things like that, it's a lot lower than on something like a coin. Coins are a lot harder to produce because they're a lot smaller and a lot more finer. Typically you're always going to pay this, and that premium percentage can be based on a lot of things. Overall, the price of the actual precious metal, what mint it came from, and whether technologies are and things like that. Typically just referring to gold and silver because that's mostly what you're going to be looking into. Silver tends to have a lot higher of a one than gold, just for the reason that gold is about worth 80 times more. The premium on most gold is about 3 to 4%. On silver is about 9 to 10%. So looking at that price right there, you'll kind of know what you're going to end up paying for. So if silver's trading at $18 for the spot price, the premium on top of that's probably going to be like $3. You're going to pay like $21 for 1 ounce of silver, and it's always based off the ounce, not off like the super into that. It's always based off the troy ounce. Wow. Next way when looking kind of like I would say going in there is how much you want to buy, whether you're going to kind of dollar cost average into the market or you're going to buy in bulk. Typically when you buy in bulk you end up paying a lot less of a premium or you get a discount on that if you just buy all at one time rather than dollar cost averaging, but you end up get more diversification as far as your overall cost basis. So it really just depends on what kind of investment strategy you want to go into that for it. I kind of
So
what's up.
speaking of investment strategy, let's just pause for 1 second. So Clearly, Roman does this all the time. So me and him, are two very different types of investors when it comes to buying, purchasing, and selling precious metals. So the first thing that you should do is figure out which type of consumer you're going to be. So I have an assortment of things here in front of me that I've purchased over time. These things have not been, oh yeah, I have a plan of holding these for X amount of time and then selling them. I don't know how much they're worth. I don't know how much I paid for them, but I have several things. I got three of these. These are all gold. We've got some kind of special JFK $half. We've got gold dollars. We've got silver dollars. I've got Jamaican dollars, Jamaican $5. Um, so for me, it was, hey, I like the way that these things look. I recognize them as an investment. I didn't spend $1,000 per thing, and I'm not holding it in terms of making a bunch of wealth. I do have a bunch of diversified things in front of me, but at the same time, I'm not the type of person that was following the market saying, let me hop in here to get, a gold bar and then put that into my collection. You have to figure out what type of person you are. I do recommend getting some, um, getting some here and there, hopping in and saying, you know what, I'm gonna get this coin because this coin is showing that it's gonna be worth X amount of dollars. But I also like the way it looks, and I'm just gonna put it in my safe. So that's what all of this stuff is. It's in my safe. Roman, on the other hand, is the type of investor that's like, hey, I want to buy this with the intention of taking it, flipping it, or taking it, holding it for X amount of time, but I want to continue to build on top of all that stuff. So we're two very different, we have two different investment strategies when it comes to purchasing gold and silver and other precious metals. So figure out what type of person that you are in terms of your investment strategy in that first, and then you can continue on with everything he's talking about, because purchasing them, are the process is still the same, but it's just the intentionality of what you're going to do after that. Are you going to try to specifically hold it and watch the market every day to see when it spikes and then you're going to sell it right then? Or are you going to just try to hold it? I haven't literally seen most of this stuff in, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. I put it all in a safe and I knew where the safe was. I knew what was in it. But at the same time, I was like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna buy some more. I'm gonna put it all in there, and then at some point I might sell it, or I might just give it to my kids. Who knows? I in this safe, I also have sequential $2 bills. I also have some. What else I got in here? No, I got some old cash, some $2 bills, because yes, $2 bills are
You
still
the
a thing, and
reason.
I just love them. Huh?
You the reason why $2
What?
bills are shortage out there. I'm just playing. It's the coin shortage.
That's fine. It's Hey, I'm not gonna spend them. I like my very crisp $2 bills and things. But figure out what type of investor you are when it comes to precious metals, as you have to do with everything else. But just wanted to throw that in there real quick so you don't feel pressure to buy everything and then you have to hold and you have to do this. No, you don't.
No, it's a diversification strategy. It's a hedge for a lot of people. So where, because the cost of a dollar can go up and down. The cost of your stocks are going to go up and down. Your cost of your cryptocurrency is going to go up and down. Um, Precious metals tend to stay more or less flat consecutively. Like they might return, but most times you're going to get maybe a 1 or 2% return or something like that. It could be something higher over the last year. It's definitely performed in some ways, but it's usually supposed to be a diversification tool, just safeguard or head or protect your money's value for the most part against inflation and things like that. For collectors, also the cool thing is a lot of these sites are, you can just go to your reputable coin dealers and get a whole bunch of rare and individual coins and things like that, which typically they tend to hire a higher of a premium on them because they are collectors items, but you'll see them all the time like a special edition, limited edition American Gold Eagle or whatever it is for that year, and that's something that people collect
The
and
Barack
they save
Obama
on.
one.
Yep, and those are things that people
This
collect,
is
and
not
they.
real at all. This is not real at all. I
I
got
mean,
this from Washington D.C. But
there probably is a presidential gold coin collection, U.S. Mint, whatever
there
out
is
there. So people buy them, they
this
collect
one.
them, and then they pass them down to their kids for generational wealth, because like they don't have any value. It's just something that you kind of like art, like you hold that Picasso because you know it's worth something. You're not really gonna sell it unless you really need to, but it's something to hold on to the whole value, like a house, like land. It's part of something like that, to where I believe in.
we have had the opportunity to partner with an absolutely fantastic brand in Fox Valley Mall in Aurora, Illinois.
Mishmash is an urban adventure where teams work together to complete the challenges that are hidden behind every door.
It's kind of like a real life Double Dare, American Gladiators, and Legend of the Hidden Temple. If you can conceptualize what Recess for Adults looks like, that's what Mishmash is.
Just like we do on YBI, we push yourselves here, we push yourselves at Mishmash too.
Make sure you check out Mishmash and support them and support our YouTube channel at the same time. YBI 15.
Get 15% off. That was a lot. Inside of that spot price that we left off on, he's showing. So I guess I could go over
I'm showing them as I put them away.
My silver that I've been having that we're kind of go over is Canadian. Oh, it's my light's so shiny. But a Canadian mint maple leaf. I think they're one of the most prettiest coins that I have. Another one I kind of really like is the American Buffalo one. Just your kind of classic. It kind of looks like a nickel, but a lot.
We're gonna have to put the pictures of them up there.
Yeah,
so
because that's just shiny. But some of the ones that I like. When you're looking back on topic, when you're looking at your spot price for any of your precious metals, you will see two things: the bid and the ask price. So the bid price are what people are willing to pay for, and the ask price are what sellers are willing to pay for. And usually the spot price will fall somewhere in the middle of there. It could be higher or lower depending on what the market's doing, but it's typically somewhere in between. Now, most people say, well, what happens when it's time to finally sell your precious metals? What's going to be going on there? That's going to be how you basically can make money off this at some point or time. And that's going to be your total spread. And that's what you kind of want to think about when you're buying any of your precious metals, even for investors, collectors, holders, whatever, in any regard, because that's where you're kind of look at what it's going to be worth that day or at that point in time. Now, typically when you sell, there's going to be a discount. Same exact way when there's a premium, there's going to be a discount in that sell, just because you got to pay for shipping, you got to pay for this, you have to pay for someone to take it back, all those different things, and that's where it comes from. So your total spread would be your premium plus your spot, then minus your discount and your sell price to figure out where you're actually going to be. So a good example would be, let's say a Canadian maple leaf is going for a spot price of $20 right now. The premium on that would be about $23. That means you paid about $23 for that one coin. So when you sell it, let's say then the buyback price is going to be at about, you're going to maybe $22, but your discount is going to be about $3, which means you sold it at about $9, which means your total spread is about $1 for that coin. So in some cases, of course, you make more or less depending on when you sell it at, but it's just how you do a stock. You buy it at $100, you sell it at 10, or you sell it at 80. That's where your total spread is, even on your portfolio. Same exact deal with your precious metals. Whew, that was a lot.
Take your time now.
So when you end up doing these things, people try to even compare all your precious metals, which there are. The big five are your gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and radium. Figure out how you want to diversify in that. Some invest. It's really just personal, your opinion. You can talk to your own financial advisor to see where they kind of want to feel like you are at. But some people have their own little strategy, like 50% gold, 20% silver, 10% this, and it's really whatever you want to do with it and how you want to buy it. As far as storage options, some people say keep it in your home. Some people say put it in the vault to a certain limit. I say maybe up to a certain dollar amount you want to keep in a safe in your home. After that, I would never say keep like $50,000 in gold or silver in your home. Maybe at that point you want to put it into a vault, especially when it's more. You never want to keep more than 10% of your net worth in your home anyway. You at that point you want to put it in a bank or a vault. So there are vaults specifically made for precious metals. Unlike a safety deposit box where you have to maybe not be able to see it or a lot harder to get to, a vault allows you to have security and storage with options to still see your precious metals and feel like you don't own them at all. And they're insured, which is the most important thing. can you get your gold and silver insured at home? Zion, what do you think?
Absolutely. It just depends on the amount that somebody is willing to insure. I think that you can't. I mean, you can, but having tens of thousands of dollars in your safe, insurance companies can see as negligent, possibly. But if it's not, a crazy amount, I think that there are insurance companies that are willing to pay to insure in case of a fire or whatever. But I mean, I have a fireproof safe, and I got this, and I got that to also protect my assets at home. So is that the
So
correct
you
answer?
you you are right. It is not
Let's
unheard of for an
go.
insurance company to cover, but you have to call them and ask and see what the
Yeah,
premiums and all that will be, how much they'll cover, and all that jazz. Of course, if you're using one of these newer newer insurance companies that are mostly online. I did hear that Lemonade just started adding some jewelry, but I don't think cash or precious metals are on there yet. I actually look into
you
that
said
and see
lemonade.
Lemonade because I use Lemonade even now currently for my renter's insurance because I like them and they were cheap. But they just added jewelry, but I got to see if precious metals are on there because I never looked. But I also don't keep more than 10% here, so don't do that. You want to be smart about how you store your precious metal, just how we talked about in the Bitcoin episodes or cryptocurrency episode about your wallet and how to protect that and how to protect your private key and everything else. So same as that deal. You want to keep them locked up and tight and somewhere safe and secure where you make sure you still have access to them, but they are safe. But boom. I think we hit a lot of stuff. There's a lot going
Did hit
on
a lot of
here.
stuff.
Oh, it's a lot of things. A lot of things about metals and monies and things like that. But I've
I think that we need to discuss the different types of metals. We touched on that a little bit earlier, but you
yes,
said that you wanted to hit all of that. So let's do that real quick.
it's kind of just a as far as the diversification part of it, it's really just about that. As far as the value and the worth, they all kind of range. In what's in there. There are some trends that you will see where certain metals will perform differently in certain markets. So in more of like a bullish market, most times platinum and rhodium, I have seen kind of take more of a boost, and more of a bearish market, you'll see gold and silver go up. So it just depends on the market and where you might see that, especially if you're trying to more or less day trade or options trade every day in metals on the stock exchange. You probably could do that there, or maybe even when you want to buy for your own at home wealth holder. You might be like, okay, I know this is going to be a rough year. Maybe I might want to build up a little bit more precious metals and or gold and silver because you know it's going to go up, which we did see this year as the
Hmm.
once the stimulus and all that kind of hit and just the GDP and all that going down this year. As the value of the dollar went down, gold and silver were going up, just like the stock market and cryptocurrencies. So have they. So you'll see those markets and trends where you're like, okay, I want to buy now so I can ride this wave out for the future. Or honestly, if you're investing in precious metals, it is more of a long-term play most of the time. Most people are holding it for 5 years or beyond. That's even on the low end, maybe at least 10 to 20, because it's more of a generational or even a wealth builder or holder in that sense. Like Zion said earlier, I'm gonna give this to my kids. Maybe give it to them and they keep the collection going from there.
Because it's pretty.
It's
It's
pretty.
gold.
It's cool.
Um,
Flex on them real
so
quick.
I mean, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of just having gold coins and stuff. I've never paid for anything with gold coins or with the $2 bill.
You're
Just
not
feels
going
wrong.
to.
It just feels wrong to me.
There's probably never a situation unless we do hit a major apocalypse or something like that where you have to trade gold and silver like for goods. You could. I mean, if you
You
walk up
could,
to somebody to like buy a car or something and you say, well, I got this much in gold, they might take it. It is a form of currency. But the biggest thing I can maybe see you
yeah.
spending
This
it
is
on,
gonna take so much.
I could say maybe for travel. Like you're traveling
Oh
abroad
yeah,
and you
yeah.
just take physical metal and then go to the currency exchange and exchange it out right there or something like that. That's about the only quick way I could see someone like using gold and silver on a day
That's
to
definitely a
day.
good point.
But
Yeah.
most times it's going to be a holder because that still takes time and most people just have a credit card or a debit card. They just swipe for it. So that's the only that could be a cool way to do is just for travel because then the value of your dollar changes due that way, but the ounce of gold and silver stays the same across every country. So you never lose or
Yeah.
gain value in that sense.
I would recommend doing that if you're going to a country that is more expensive than it is here. If you're going somewhere that's cheaper than the U.S. dollar, just use the U.S. dollar because it'll be worth more. It can still be worth more in terms of gold and silver, but it's going to be the equivalent. You know what I'm saying? So if you go to, let's say, the Kuwait, right? Kuwait, the dollar was nowhere near as strong as theirs. But if you go with gold, gold over there is still what gold is over here. So it's kind of more of an equivalent than trying to use the dollar to the Kuwaiti dinar. Um, but I hadn't even thought about that. So excellent point.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think to use it on your day-to-day lives, and besides just something pretty to kind of look at. Um, most times, you'll see people end up holding, especially to just preserve. Oh, storage as well, kind of goes in there. Stuff like this, or just holders. Some are still bright, but like a little white box for your coins. And sometimes you'll see people order like monster boxes of them. If you're ordering that though, you're probably putting it in the vault. But just things like that. Another thing to think about is just to keep them preserved as well. You don't want them to oxidize or anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure cleaning coins is bad at some point, isn't it?
Yeah, you want to
Like
just
you have to
keep
be a
them.
professional to clean the coins that you're using because some coins are actually worth more once they look bad. Um, we're not gonna go
Collectors.
into all that.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
collectible
collection
items. It's the
stuff.
same thing. You can say like Funko Pops or anything like that. I mean, those things have value at a certain point. Just collectible items, shoes, everything. Something. Which yeah, we might do another episode on collectibles. Whoa. Maybe.
Might have to.
All right. Well,
Um,
let's wrap this up for you guys. Back going into it. Precious metals are a diversification tool for your overall portfolio and generational wealth, and growing that up. Get into it when you feel like you are comfortable, even if you want to. Please, if you need to, consult with a financial expert and an advisor. Figure out what you want to do with it. Figure out your strategy. Figure out which options you want to buy, and then start getting into it. It is a cool way to diversify your portfolio, and it kind of gives you an investment you can hold. A lot of times you can't hold a stock usually unless you get like the paper one or whatever. But other than that, it's a good investment you actually hold in your hand and you're like, oh, this is worth something.
Absolutely, good way to keep yourself financially there. If ever something happens, it's good to be able to go to the vault, pull out some gold, and be okay. So I think that's where we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up for today. As always, if you guys have questions, you can email us, you can comment. We have people that are making sure that we are getting back to at least most of you guys, if not all. You can reach out to us on different social media platforms. The logo is coming and the merch is coming. So chill out. We
We will
got it.
leave
We're
links
going to start
to,
rocking it.
yeah, we're gonna leave links to, I believe, links to AppMex and J and Bullion if you want to look at their websites. I have heard very good things about J and Bullion, and I've used AppMex myself, so I know that they've been really nice, and everything else with it. Oh, I forgot. If you are shipping for when you are buying, I forgot about this. If you're shipping and buying your precious metals, and you ship them to your home, especially if you live in an apartment building or complex, make sure you pay the extra money for faster shipping and for the signature required. You don't want someone to just end up stealing your get them an early Christmas present because they stole your package or anything like that. Make sure you get a signature. And it is, yeah. We'll also
Yeah.
leave links for everything else down below for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to email us. I will also leave links to videos to SWP, which is Strategic Wealth Partners, which is a great company who actually stores precious metals and silvers, who I also did research into. So we'll give all that info for you guys as well. And yeah, thank you guys for all your support. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, sir. Y'all know what's up. We may be young and we may even be broke, but we are always investing. All right, guys. Till next time. Peace.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to Young Broken Investing. We just want to let you know that these are the opinions of the host, are not meant to be the basis of any security purchases or investments. We're trying to give a little information out there for everybody, and have fun and be safe.